So did I get started in the music business? Wow. Started back in Durham, North Carolina. When I grew up, I lived in a place that was, when I remember it, it was like Harlem. There was a street called Pettigrew Street. It was rich. There were people everywhere. Like on a Saturday, it was like you were in New York City. I mean, the excitement was crazy. And James Brown used to come through there, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Jackie Wilson, Eddie Floyd, Millie Jackson, the Dramatics. I mean, all the groups from the 70s. That was a melting pot at that time, and it was called the Chitlin Circuit. And it was Durham was one of the stops. So I grew up in that, and as a kid, I found myself sitting outside the rehearsals of these clubs and stuff, watching the artists come in, and I used to sit there and say, wow, one day I want to do that. And I mean, I really remember feeling like I wanted to do this, like at around 10 or 11 years old. And I just kept going around these clubs and everything till I remember one time, I don't remember which group it was, I was so young, they just said, hey, little guy, come on and come in with us. And I went in, and I just remember how I felt just watching them set up and do sound check, and I just knew from way back then that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do music. I just loved the ambiance, I liked the way it sounded, I liked the way I felt when I heard the music, and I was in a very, very rich environment musically, and that's how I got started. The ups and downs of the industry is why I wanted to start my own bands. From being in this business so long, I just kind of got frustrated with being up here for 4 years and being down here for 9 months, and then being up here for 8 months and being down here for 2 years, and then being here for 3 years, and then being here for 5. So I just got tired of it, and wanted to get into something a little more consistent. And I said, what if I start my own corporate band and do the same things that the big guys do? Rehearse the same way, dress the same way, present your show the same way, just industry standard. And it motivated me to do that. And I really feel that I have a connection with my musicians because that's me. I mean, I've lived my whole life being a musician, so I look out for my guys. I make sure that they have the best that we have to offer. I don't let them, if it's whack, we don't do it, because I just look at myself and I think of them, and I think that's why I run a great ship. It was motivation to have my own stuff because I just thought that we could just do something different and you know, revolutionize the corporate game, so I wanted to do my own bands. Simply Irresistible is actually in one of Mr. Perry's movies. We needed a band to play with Mary J. Blige, and she needed background singers, and I was thinking, I said, you know what? I'm gonna call my people and put them in here. I cleared it through him, and he said it was cool, and that was it. We did it, and the movie was I Can Do Bad All By Myself, and that was a great experience because we got a chance to, that film I did the most music for, and I was involved in it. It was the best, and just having that band, my band in it, was great because I saw it on TV not too long ago, and I had kind of forgotten about it, and I'm sitting there, and then I see Katie and members of the band, and I'm like, oh, that's right, we were in that movie, so that was great. How did I become Tyler Perry's music director? That's good. I just remember being frustrated at home one day. My wife and I was looking through a magazine. I'm turning the pages and I see this guy Tyler Perry, and I'm saying Tyler Perry, and I'm like, who is this guy? I had never heard of him. My wife's like, really, you never heard of him? I had never been to any of his plays. I didn't know anything. And I just remember reading about him and noticed that he lived close to me and everything. And I'm telling you, when I say faith and favor, it's gotta be real. I remember saying, I wanna work for somebody like that. You know, I'm in such an uncertain game, and I'm just tired of the record industry and everything. And I said, I want to work with somebody like that. I promise you. 2 weeks later, I'm riding in my car, and my phone rings. And I say, hello. And this guy says, can I speak to Ronnie Garrett? I said, this is Ronnie. He said, hi, this is Tyler Perry. and I want to know if you can put together a band for me to do the Tom Joyner cruise. And I was like, sure, I can do it. So I put this band together. We go rehearse, and from that point on, that was 2004. After I did that, I did a good job, and he asked me would I do his plays, and I said, of course. And since 2004, I've had a wonderful relationship with him. He's one of my best friends in the world, and I still work with him today. The last play we did was Medea Gets a Job, and what was different about that is instead of being in the back all the time, we were never seen. At the end of the play, the band was on the stage, and I got to tell you, that was just such a rush because we never really got a chance to feel the audience, and being out there in those packed arenas every night, and the stage was bananas. It was just great just to finally get out there and people could see what you were doing, and a lot of times they thought it was a track playing, but it was actually the band, and we got a chance to get out there and play. It was great.